Hello everybody and welcome back to Rainbow Magic Book Club. Please do not forget to like my videos, comment and remember to subscribe. Look at all this. What do you see? Drawings, eh? Wow. These are all my Rainbow Magic drawings from when I was about 10 years old up until about 2 months ago. So, some of them haven't been coloured in yet. Some of them I haven't finished. Some of them, they don't have their name next to them. But we're just going to go through them and react to them. So, for example, I'll pick up Scarlet the Garnet Fairy. I'll show you her. Then I'll show a Google image of the fairy. And then we'll do a comparison. Let's start. Here is Tasha, the tap dance fairy. And I drew 2 of her. Which one is your favourite? Is it this one here with the really spiky wings? Or this one with the spiky wings but not so jagged? I personally prefer this one because she looks a bit neater. Even though her wings aren't coloured in, but this one, she's so big. The black pen that I used looked like it was coloured. The ink was drying out, but oh well. And I drew her in blue and then coloured her in. That isn't right. She does not have blue eyes and a blue mouth and nose. So, yeah. Not the greatest on this one. I was probably about 10 when I drew her, and I'm not sure how old I was when I drew her, but I was probably older, like 12 or something. So here are the 2 of them, and now let's find a Google image. Lauren the Puppy Fairy. Now the reason why I only have one drawing here to show you now is because I only showed those 2 ones because it was the same fairy. I just drew her twice. Lauren the Puppy Fairy. She's from the Pet Keeper Fairy series. And her puppy, Sunny. Yeah, Sunny, that's her puppy's name. But it hasn't been coloured in yet. She's an okay drawing. I mean, her hair is a bit too wiggledy and her hair is not black. I shouldn't have used a black pen to draw her hair and then colour over it. Not the greatest. So yeah, there's nothing on the back. So that's Lauren the Puppy Fairy. Molly the Goldfish Fairy. From the same series as Lauren the Puppy Fairy, the Pet Keeper Fairy series. Her feet do not look the greatest. They're a bit too wide and fat looking, like, that is just a bit weird, but we're just going to have to deal with a lot of these drawings because there's probably about 30 drawings here and only about 2 or 3 of them look good. This is one of them that doesn't look that greatest. I didn't really colour her in that well. I mean, she looks a lot better than the other Tasha the Tap Dance Fairy, the one that was coloured in really fast. With a lot of my Rainbow Magic drawings, I did colour them in fast. And there's a goldfish tank. I can't really remember the goldfish's name. Scarlet the Garnet Fairy. Her face looks a little bit weird. Look how tiny her eyes are and her mouth is all the way down where her chin is. Oh well. And look, I drew her leg overlapping the straight one, but it doesn't look good because the straight leg, the lines are actually on the other leg, which does not look right at all. Amber the Orange Fairy. Now, what I like about this drawing is that I coloured in the entire page. It wasn't just the fairy, the words, and that's it. I actually coloured in the background because if you have the Amber the Orange Fairy book, the background of the book is actually pink, which is probably why I coloured it in pink. No, she isn't the greatest, and I've noticed there's a lot of these fairies so far. Their wings are like really sharp and they're like a pointed triangle shape. I do quite like how I drew her, even though that knee looks terrible. And it looks like she has like elf ears, but oh well. What I love is that I coloured in the entire page. And what are those two dots there? They look like scary eyes. Frances, the Royal Family Fairy. Now this is a newer one. I probably drew this about 2.5, 3 years ago. Most of the ones I've been showing you, I probably drew in like 2011, 12, early 2013. But I was a lot older when I drew this one because she looks a lot neater. And what I like about this one is I actually tried to copy the font of the words from the book, which I think is really good. Like how I drew the F and the R. So yeah. Heather the Violet Fairy. Again, not the greatest fairy. Her legs are, I'm not saying the book isn't great. The book is amazing. I'm saying the drawing I did isn't the greatest fairy. But her legs are really skinny. Like, what the heck? Why does she have skinny legs? And her wand is incredibly long. But what I love, and I did this on my other rainbow fairy drawing. Like, I did it with amber. That I actually coloured the end of the wand the colour of the fairy. So if you're the blue fairy, I might have done the end of the wand blue. That kind of thing. I love that I did that with Heather. And I really love the dress, even though I drew it a bit too short and I coloured it in a bit too fast. I like the sleeves and the frilliness. So cute. Demi the Dress-Up Fairy. I named her a bit wrong. She's called Demi the Dressing Up Fairy, not Dress Up. But again, this rainbow is really pretty, but the blue has a bit of a splodge, which meant that something must have spilt because the blue bled into the other side. But she isn't finished. I never coloured in her arms, tiara, face or wings. And her legs are so fat. And quite a few of them I drew their legs really fat, really skinny. What I found really odd is that I was trying to do like a dark shade, but it's like some of her leg is a completely different shade of brown, which is really strange. This doesn't look like a shade. It looks like some of her leg is a completely different shade, which does not look right. Anya the Cuddly Creatures Fairy. I did not write her name here, but this is my newest drawing out of all of them. I drew this fairy about 2 or 3 months ago. So, as you can see, I love everything about it. The way I drew it, the way she is, because she's my newest one. And I'm not trying to say I absolutely hate my newest one, my old ones. I'm just trying to say, like, with my old ones, some of their legs are skinny, some are really, really thin, some have like weird eye shapes and what have you, but this is my newest one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I must have spilt tea or coffee, I didn't drink coffee or tea, or hot chocolate or something, because there's brown splotches everywhere. And there's a long one here, and then there's something blue there. And what? I did maths equations at the back, and a really weird face. It kind of looks a bit like Kirsty Takes, but I don't know. This one is obviously Grace the Glitter Fairy from the Party Fairies series. Maddie the Playtime Fairy. Quite a nice drawing that I did here. She isn't finished because I didn't have her name. And I also didn't finish colouring in that arm. And I haven't coloured in her wings yet. But yeah, she's really pretty. Maddie. A tiny little fairy soaking her tiny feet in a river, pond, puddle, what have you. This is Coral the Reef Fairy. And there's a sun, and that's basically it. I need to finish colouring her in. I like how tiny I drew her because obviously fairies are really tiny. As in the present fairy. This foot especially is a bit awkward looking. But what I really like about her is her crisscross ribbon on her legs. Quite a few Rainbow Magic fairies have them, like Ruby the Red Fairy. Her blue skirts and top are pretty. Not the biggest fan on the crop top, how you can see a bit of her belly, but oh well. Her ribbon is adorable. She's also from the Party Fairy series, just like Grace the Glitter Fairy. Ooh, Rebecca the Rock and Roll Fairy. If you didn't know, Rebecca is my real name, not Reby. But yeah, Pia the Penguin Fairy. As you can see where it says penguin, I also wrote penguin up here. I can tell. But she's quite cute, and you can actually see that I rubbed out this penguin picture here, which looks a bit weird. And here's her cute, adorable penguin. She is also from the Ocean Fairy series, Taylor the Talent Show Fairy. She does look a bit odd because of her skin, because her skin was peach, white, and then I coloured over with a brown crayon, and it doesn't look the greatest. But what I really love is her rainbow coloured star. It's so tiny and it won't focus. And I really like her dress. It is awesome. This picture is not a fairy. This is Kirsty Tate from the Rainbow Magic Book Fairy series. She is holding a horseshoe. I am assuming that this picture is taking place from the Paige the Pantomime Fairy book series, because in that series, Paige the Pantomime Fairies, one of Paige the Pantomime Fairies' magical objects was a horseshoe. The other was some ballet slippers, and another was a glass slipper. Finally, the Emerald Fairy. She is from the same series as Scarlet the Garnet Fairy. And it says the Jewel Fairy on the rainbow. And I like that I tried to copy the font again, and I spilled something there. Yeah. And her leg is really weird. It's really, really skinny right at the end of her skirt. Wow! I love this picture. It's a big piece of A3 paper, not A4. And we have Julia the Sleeping Beauty Fairy, Eleanor the Snow White Fairy, and Faith the Cinderella Fairy. I obviously haven't finished colouring in Faith. I haven't coloured in her shoes, the rest of her dress, and her wings, but the other two have been finished. Here is another A3 piece of paper with 3 Rainbow Magic Fairies. I haven't finished colouring in her in. I haven't coloured in her arms, face, or legs. And for her, I haven't coloured the rest of her dress, her wings, hair, and face, and legs. So she is Olivia the Orchid Fairy, Danielle the Daisy Fairy, and Ella the Rose Fairy. They are from the Petal Fairy series. Here's a fairy that looks a bit odd with the foot. Now, I keep saying with all my drawings, ooh, this leg is a bit too skinny, or oh, why did her knee look like that? But hey, I am being honest with this one. Look how I drew the shoe. I didn't make it go right up to the end. So this one says Melody, but what type of fairy is she? She is the Music Fairy. So this is Melody the Music Fairy, because there's music notes all around her. And she even has a music note necklace. She is from the Party Fairy series, because when you go to party, you really need some music to make you dance. Thank you so much for watching my video of most of my Rainbow Magic drawings. Now, I had to delete some clips because the video was getting a bit too long, but I showed you the vast majority of them. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment. so you will be a part of the Rainbow Magic Book Club. Bye!